Welcome everyone to episode 3 of Let's Learn with Limbic, the show where I analyze my replays in order to find my mistakes so that we can both learn from them. This episode is going to focus on making good decisions based on what happens in your games instead of just following a build order blindly. Alright, hello everyone, my name is Limbic and welcome to Let's Learn with Limbic episode 3. Once again, we have a TVZ on Daybreak. Our opponent today is Boo to You. And we're going to talk about how a game where both players started playing perfectly standard can actually end up to where it looks like somebody decided they were just going to do some kind of cheese at the very beginning. So this, as you can see, this is a very short game here, but I'm still going to go ahead and skip to 6 minutes in the replay. The reason is nobody cheesed this game, and I'm not trying to learn any kind of new build order, so there's not really any purpose in me watching myself build workers for 6 minutes. Alright, so what do we see here? Our opponent opened up with speed, he left a drone in gas, he's just now building up queens, macroing up, building drones. What is the normal time for a Zerg to take their hatchery? Between 6 minutes and 6 minutes 30 seconds. You can see that's when I sent my Reaper to check. His hatchery was just a tad late. I don't think it's really that big of a deal right now. But yeah, as you can see, I just sent my Reaper to check to see whether he does have a hatchery. If I saw it were significantly later, then I would have said, oh, okay, you're probably doing something aggressive. But I see, nope, he took it at a normal time. I guess you're just playing perfectly standard. Excellent, that's the way I like it. He's building a spine crawler. I suppose he's just a little worried about the Hellbat push. I can't think of any other reason why he would be throwing a spine crawler down now. And he's also building a baneling nest, again, just at the normal time. You can see he doesn't have any kind of huge amounts of Zerglings. He is producing a few more, that's actually perfectly normal. Once you have saturated your first 2 bases as Zerg, you basically, until your 3rd base gets up, you spend all your larvae just making around 15 Zerglings in order to properly defend yourself against Hellions. So as you can see, at this point, nobody's doing anything out of the ordinary. However, something is going to happen, and then my opponent is going to make a very intelligent decision based on that thing that happened. So I'm going to go ahead and speed it up a little bit. By the way, if you're wondering why I'm just attacking this hatchery with these Hellions, there's a couple reasons. The first one is this ramp. This ramp is very tricky as Terran because obviously with these Hellions you want to be denying creep spread. However, if you try to go up this ramp, they could just have like queens and a few Zerglings up here, and then that's basically just like a concrete door slammed in your face saying, you're never getting up here. So it's basically guaranteed that your Zerg opponent will get the creep at least to here. And since I knew it would take him just a little bit of time, I might as well come over here, and since I saw this hatchery just went down, I'm actually going to try to focus it down and see if I can force a cancel. Even though Hellions and Reapers have very low DPS against buildings, you still can force an opponent to cancel their hatchery, especially if you caught it right when it planted down. And obviously doing so would significantly delay that hatchery. You can see how low it is, and it's already halfway done. It should be at half health. Instead, it's almost dead. So what has happened here? The thing that changed the pace of the game already occurred. So he sent his Zerglings down, and he's actually trying to sandwich and trap these Hellions, and he's going to do a pretty damn good job. And I also do a pretty damn bad job at controlling my Hellions to make sure that doesn't happen, especially these two. They actually were just recently added to the control group, and I just tried to run my Hellions away. Unfortunately, these just run across the wall and get easily surrounded. Now, why is this significant? There's a bunch of reasons. First, you have to ask yourself, why does Terran actually build these Hellions? Obviously, you want map control, you want to deny the creep spread, you want to maybe see if you have an opportunity to do a run-by and kill tons of drones. Maybe you'll even force your opponent to cancel their 3rd base. But another reason that I think a lot of people don't know is you build them in order to ward off a lot of Zerg's all-ins. Now, obviously they're not very good against roaches, but against Ling Bane all-ins, they really do help out quite a lot. Now, as you can see, after a little bit of dancing there, he has killed off all but one of my Hellions, and what does he immediately do? He morphs a bunch of Banelings at my, right outside of my natural. The reason he does this is he says, wow, I just killed all of your Hellions. Those are basically what Terran uses in order to survive against all-ins like this, but you don't have them anymore, which means that if I try this, it should be super effective. Now, he did not plan this from the beginning. I'm 99% sure that he had no intentions of doing this when he first got into this game. A lot of people think that when you start a game of Starcraft, especially like any player, will choose the build that they're going to do for the game at the loading screen, and then no matter what happens, it doesn't matter, that's their build, unless they scout like some cheese, and obviously they make some sort of alteration. But regardless, aside from that, they will just have their build, and then that's it. If they do anything like this, that means that at the loading screen, they decided they were going to cheese their opponent. That's not the case here, though. What actually happened was my opponent said, hey, I actually have an opportunity to just win the game here. Why don't I try to seize that opportunity? If you find yourself also having any opportunity like this, where you're saying to yourself, you know what, I could probably just win right here, right now, then you probably should go ahead and do it. I mean, why wouldn't you? Why would you let your opponent just catch back up? Now, here's the mistake I made. I kind of did the exact same thing I was talking about. I had my build, and regardless of what happened, I'm just kind of trying to stick to it and trying to play exactly how I would have, even if I hadn't lost these aliens. Once I lost them, I should have been thinking to myself, oh crap, now I'm really susceptible to some kind of all-in. I should be throwing down a bunker, I should be producing widow mines, which you can see I actually thought about, but eventually I just decide, no, I'm going to try and play the standard by lifting this factory off and building another reactor with it and just throwing the starport down here. If I had thrown down a bunker and had just even 2 widow mines, imagine how differently this attack that's going to be coming to my base would have looked. Unfortunately, I have no idea that this is coming. Again, I lost map control when I lost these Hellions. I don't really want to be wasting scans, not that I would have even seen anything incriminating, probably. And I just get completely owned, and it looks like there's nothing I could have done. But again, if I just had 1 bunker and 2 widow mines, that would have been huge in this. Now, something else I would like to mention briefly is whenever something like this happens, it's very easy to kind of freak out and say, oh, clearly this person chooses every single game and they don't know how to play a normal game, that's why they do this. If I had just gotten a chance to play normally, I totally would have beaten him. It just feels awful. But if you ever find yourself feeling like that, just take a moment, take a deep breath, and think, well, is that really the case, or did they just take advantage of an opportunity? Now, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to actually cut in my reactions while I was actually playing this game on my stream. And you can see that I wasn't furious. I wasn't going like, oh, stupid, cheesy person. I was saying, oh, well, he actually realized he had the opportunity to win here. He took it. That was very smart of him. And then I just moved on. Your mentality is very important when you're trying to get better at anything. If you're just making excuses and blaming other people and saying that they're just playing really obnoxiously and unfairly, then that's a really slow and ineffective way to get better. Alright, after that clip, I'm going to go ahead and round up this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I know it was a little bit of a shorter episode today. I'm hoping that it was just short and sweet and to the point. Again, thank you very much for watching. My name has been Limbic, and I will see you all tomorrow. He saw an opportunity and he took it. He was like, oh wait, I killed all your Hellions. That means that you are going to be really vulnerable to all-ins. Very, very smart of him. That was just intelligent play from him. I applaud you. Boo to you. That was just smart.